I need a license and registration.
What did I do?
Step out of the vehicle.
You were the one doing 100 miles an hour coming down that hill. Weren't you?
Do you have registration on you?
Way too fast.
This West Virginia state trooper pulled over and arrested this dad right in front of his family because they witnessed the trooper illegally speeding. And this guy is such a jerk. This is how he was talking to the wife right in front of the crying daughter.
Do you
Are you really taking him to jail?
Yes. Do you have a driver's license? I need to see that. Sorry, babe, turn off. Do you want me to explain this further, or do you want to argue with me? In that case, I'll just leave and you can figure it out on your own. I'm explaining to you how to get your husband out of jail in the morning. Do you want that explanation or not?
And if that voice sounds familiar, this isn't his first time. That same trooper I did a video on about 2 years ago after he got caught on a secret recording verbally abusing a woman.
Sit down. I told you I would not mail you a ticket. Sit down. Sit down. You want to f***ing jail like God now? Sit down, shut your f***ing mouth, and you will take a ticket and you will leave this f***ing office. Do you understand? You have two options. One f***ing ticket, or you go to charge us to North Central Regional Jail. Shut up. Sit down. Shut up. I will not hear any more out of your f***ing mouth. Shut up.
Supposedly, he was disciplined by the state police for that, but apparently he's still out there abusing people. I'll tell you what happened and what you can do to help. This is never-before-seen body cam footage out of Shinston, West Virginia. This occurred all the way back on December 17th, 2023, but because of the criminal case that happened afterwards, the case was only fairly recently resolved. And again, no one has seen this footage yet, but they need to. This family was from that area, but they had since relocated to the Cincinnati, Ohio area. And so they were traveling around Christmas of 2023. And you know, when you travel with kids, you have to stop and get them McDonald's. Well, that's what they did. It was late at night, around 10 o'clock at night. Nobody on the roads. This is a 2-lane road, US Route 19. They go through the drive-through at McDonald's. They go to pull out on the 2-lane road. Traffic is clear. They begin to make a left-hand turn. They do make a left-hand turn, and as they get in their lane, they see a car absolutely flying towards them. The window had been rolled down because they just went through the drive-through. The father thought it was like a teenager speeding, and he did like a slow down gesture outside his window, like you would do to a teenager that was about to kill somebody. Then, as the car passes, they see this is a West Virginia State Police cruiser. So they keep on driving. They go down almost to the next light. Next thing you know, that West Virginia State Trooper had turned around, came up behind them, and turned his emergency lights on. Now, when they saw the car flying towards them, he did not have any emergency lights on, just headlights coming at them. No apparent emergency. Now he does a U-turn, comes up behind them, pulls them over. This is the raw body cam footage from that interaction. And since this is the raw footage, not available anywhere else, I'll leave it uncut for you. It's not very long. Then I'll tell you what happened afterwards.
The 583, go ahead.
Charlie 99205. It's a white Ram pickup. I'll be signal 19 with it. Route 19 the bunkhouse. You know why I stopped you?
Yeah, you were coming down the hill at about 60 miles an hour and almost T-boned.
Because you have the duty to yield to traffic when entering a highway from any other place. Do you have a registration in? I need a license. I need a license. I need a license and registration from you right now.
For what?
I need a license and registration.
What did I do?
Step out of the vehicle.
You're out of your
Step
mind.
out of the vehicle.
I'm not coming out of this vehicle. Buddy,
you need to step out of the vehicle.
I just had a $50,000 surgery on my arm.
You need to step out of the vehicle, or you need to give me your license and your registration.
I'll give you my license and registration.
Give me the license and registration.
You need to settle down.
Step out.
You need.
Step out.
If you start jerking on me, I'm giving you my license.
Step out of the vehicle.
Is this on camera?
Yes, step out of the vehicle.
Good.
Unbuckle, step out.
No, you want my license. I'm giving you my license.
You're going to unbuckle and you're going to step out of the vehicle.
He can step out of the vehicle. But don't touch this arm. Please, God, please don't.
No, let's do it, man. I want the full 100 miles an hour. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Step out.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Step out.
How am I going to step out? You've got it wrapped around my neck.
No, it's around your arm.
How am I going to step out?
Take your arm out of the seatbelt.
I can't.
Take the arm out of the seatbelt.
I can't bend my
He
arm.
just had surgery,
Put your arms
sir.
down. Step
He
out.
has no
Step out. Turn around.
arm.
Turn around.
Seriously,
Yeah, cuff me back here.
Oh my God, are you?
Cuff me.
So it doesn't bend?
No, it doesn't
Okay, turn
bend.
around, face
It
me.
doesn't bend. Jared, calm down.
Other hand.
No, I was doing 15 miles an hour and he was doing 60.
Stop, Jared.
Do you have a...
I hope you have backup coming
Why?
Jared,
because this is ridiculous.
so silly.
Absolutely ridiculous. You were the one doing 100 miles an hour coming down that hill, weren't you?
Do you have registration on you?
Way too fast.
Do you have a registration on this vehicle?
Yeah, it's in the center console.
Your child is
Okay,
freaking
come on.
out.
Good. I'm
Hey,
excited
stop,
for
stop,
this.
stop, stop, stop. Hey, miss, you got a valid driver's license?
I do.
Okay, if you're going to take this vehicle, I'm going to need to see that before you leave, okay?
Here. Are you
Okay.
taking-
He- he's
Why
what?
she need to take the vehicle?
Do you not want her to? I can have it towed.
For what?
Because you're going to jail.
For what?
For failing to identify yourself when I asked you for your driver's
You've
license
got
3
my
times.
ID.
Yep, and you said no. Go ahead.
Oh, my lawyer's gonna love this.
Hold on, hold on. Have a seat.
What?
Have a seat. Miss, you got a valid driver's license?
I do.
Okay.
Here's the registration.
Okay.
We are out of town visiting family.
Okay, well, he needs to give his driver's license to me when I ask for it.
I'm so sorry.
Do you
Are
have
you
a,
really taking him to jail?
yes. Do you have a driver's license? I need to see that. Sorry, babe, please, I'm off. I mean, 27 Ohio. I'm ready. Victor Mike. Okay, so he's gonna go to North Central Regional Jail tonight. Are you familiar with this area at all? You know where Clarksburg is? Okay. He'll be arraigned in the morning at the. He'll be arraigned via video at the courthouse in Clarksburg. You need to go to the courthouse in the morning to post his bond, or he'll be released on personal recognizance. In that case, you have to pick him up at the jail, and it's in Greenwood, West Virginia. You go out Route 50. You're from Ohio, right?
No, I'm from here. We're in family, but I've never
Good. Because he's in the middle of the road, and he has to.
trying to pull out. We were afraid
No, no. Okay, we're not going to do this right now. He's pulling out of McDonald's. He has to yield to oncoming traffic, which is me. He can't be in the middle of the road, but she was in the middle of the road, not moving. Do you want me to explain this further, or do you want to argue with me? In that case, I'll just leave and you can figure it out on your own. I'm explaining to you how to get your husband out of jail in the morning. Do you want that explanation or not? Do you want that explanation or not? 1 Lois Lane, Greenwood, West Virginia is the North Central Regional Jail. 306 Washington Avenue, Clarksburg is the courthouse. Okay, you can Google Harrison County Courthouse in Clarksburg, and it'll take you to it. Just be there in the morning, post his bond, okay?
the courthouse
In Clarksburg, yes.
where I can pick him up.
That's where you have to post his bond. You have to pick him up at the jail.
How much is bond? I don't have any.
I don't know. I have no idea. You have to figure that out in the morning, okay? He'll be able to call you from jail. 583 time on. 1017 station. No, we're going now. Go ahead.
He just had surgery, like major surgery on his arm.
Okay.
Is he going to be okay? I mean,
Yes, there's medical staff at the jail. Well, he can give me his license next time, and then he won't have to deal with this. Okay. He'll be fine.
So basically what happened here is there was no lawful stop in the first place because no traffic violation was actually committed. The only thing that happened was Trooper Trupo was butthurt that they waved at him to tell him to slow down. At the time they turned left out of McDonald's, Trupo still wasn't anywhere near them. He was coming from the town of Shinston, and he was traveling at such a high rate of speed that after they had made the left-hand turn, the dad was just shocked that this car was coming at them so quickly, and he just motioned to slow down. He had no idea it was a police car. So what Trupo did was basically fabricate an illegal justification to then retaliate by performing a bogus traffic stop. And this is what he wrote in this subsequent police report. I was traveling along U.S. Route 19, otherwise known as Shinston Pike. The undersigned officer observed a white in color Ram pickup, herein the suspect vehicle, exit the McDonald's located at the physical address of 1497 South Pike Street, Shinston, at a slow rate of speed, failing to yield to the undersigned officer, causing him to slow abruptly. The undersigned officer conducted a traffic stop on the suspect vehicle. The undersigned officer made contact with the driver and directed him to produce his operator's license and vehicle registration. The male refused. The undersigned officer directed the driver out of the vehicle. The male refused. The undersigned officer unbuckled the driver's seatbelt and again directed the driver out of the vehicle. The male became verbally aggressive and exited the vehicle under escort from the undersigned officer. So that was his story. And if you watch the footage, you know that not only was it a bogus stop to begin with, but his explanation is basically a complete, if not a total fabrication, a complete exaggeration. This was a bogus retaliatory stop. As you saw in the footage, the cop had the ID in his hand before he drug him out of the car. This was about retaliation, not performing any routine traffic stop. The driver, of course, was upset because he knew that he was being harassed and being subjected to a bogus stop. So ultimately, he was taken to jail and he spent 17 hours in jail. And he actually had a pretty awful time there because he had just had surgery, and that did cause some issues while he was in jail. Definitely ruined the family trip. Again, this was Christmas time. He was charged with failure to yield, obstructing an officer, and also, I've never heard this before, interference with a trooper. Thankfully, there was body cam footage. Once it was handed over to the criminal defense lawyer, it was shown to the prosecutor. Apparently, the prosecutor was not at all happy with what he saw, and the charges were dismissed. The charges were dismissed on the motion of the prosecutor. It said that he reviewed the facts of the case, there was lack of any criminal history, and it was in the interest of justice to dismiss the charge. Imagine being this cop and doing what he just did, and the prosecutor dismisses all the charges and says that it's in the interest of justice that everything you did be thrown out. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that this trooper has no credibility because he has already publicly humiliated the West Virginia State Police after a secret recording surfaced where he is verbally abusing a female business owner. Almost 2 years ago, I did a video on that one, and the last thing that happened, I see a media report from September 26, 2022 that says, Bridgeport trooper disciplined after profanity-filled audio recording. And this is what they reported. Disciplinary action was taken against a Bridgeport-based state trooper after a profanity-filled audio recording of him interacting with a Harrison County business owner surfaced. The recording came after Jennifer Bruce, owner of a convenience store in Lost Creek, West Virginia, met with Trooper Trupo in August to discuss a citation against her business for selling tobacco products to a minor. Bruce recorded the conversation in which Trupo was heard using profanity several times, and then it was shared with the news. This is the actual recording, which again sounds very familiar, does it not?
How are you doing today?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, I can help you.
I'm looking for Officer Trupo or Trubo.
Trupo? What do you need?
I'm supposed to meet him here.
Okay. Just hang out here for a minute.
Thank you.
What's your name? Bruce?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You need 1 second.
Okay.
By chance you don't have a copy of your business license, do you?
No.
That's fine.
By chance, can we talk first?
We
Okay. Like, your threat to get a warrant for my arrest. Wait, let me speak first. Please don't interrupt. I asked if I could
Sit down. Sit down. Be quiet. You're going to take the citation. You're going to walk out here with the citation. If you want to run your mouth, you will go ahead and You understand me?
You offered to mail it.
Sit down. I told you I would not mail you a ticket. Sit down. Sit down.
Speaking to me.
You're in the fucking jail like God now. Sit down, shut your fucking mouth, and you will take a ticket and you will leave this fucking office. Do you understand? You have two options. One fucking ticket, or you go be charged at the North Central Regional Jail. Shut up. Sit down. Shut up. I will not hear any more out of your fucking mouth. Shut up. Sit right there.
This guy clearly is a hothead, but even worse than that, he threatens and in fact does abuse his authority. The sacred authority that the people give him as a public servant here to punish people that make him angry, which is not very difficult to do apparently. And he's threatening as a punishment, where he's judge, jury, and executioner, threatening as a punishment stays in the local regional jail. But here, this guy's going to McDonald's, just minding his own business with his family. And how dare he motion for a car to slow down that is speeding? He doesn't know at the time that that was a West Virginia state trooper actually violating the law. And his trip gets detoured in the worst possible way, with his daughter crying as she sees her father getting taken to jail, when he hadn't even committed a traffic violation or any legitimate reason to be pulled over by this out-of-control state trooper. The last update article on him being disciplined ended like this. It said, "The allegations against Trooper Trupo were sustained," West Virginia State Police Major J.T. Finley told 5 News. Finley said he could not elaborate on the specifics of what disciplinary action was taken, but did say Trupo is still employed by the West Virginia State Police. You don't say. I take it there was not much in the way of disciplinary action. The disciplinary action that should have been taken was to fire him. Why would you leave somebody in that position of trust, that position of authority, who is a hothead, who is not credible, who verbally abuses women in the way that he did? The West Virginia State Police needs to fire him right now, immediately. This guy is a threat to public safety. Now, there have been a lot of scandals at the West Virginia State Police. Let's see if things have changed there. They may not have known about this. Well, now they know. And if you're a West Virginian, contact your politician, contact your governor, contact your government, and let them know, show them the footage of what this guy has done. Why is he still out on the road with a gun and a badge and the authority to not only do what he's done here, but to take people's lives? He cannot be trusted. I look forward to an update on this one. We'll see if the West Virginia State Police does the right thing. So as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe both here and at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. And remember, our rights don't end where your fear begins. Freedom is scary. Deal with it.